Tata Motors built their single greatest car. The most premium, the most powerful, the most feature-packed thing they had ever made. And then they deleted it from existence. No press conference. No farewell tour. No explanation. One day it was in showrooms. The next, gone. This is the story of the Tata Hexa, and why its death is the biggest blunder in Indian automotive history. Okay, to understand why the Hexa mattered, you need to go back to 2010. Tata Motors launches the Aria, a big, bold, 7-seater crossover SUV thing. Premium positioning. High ambition. It was a disaster. Not because the car was bad, but because it was priced like a Toyota, and people still thought of Tata as the company that made the Nano. Brand perception is a brutal thing. The Aria limped along for 6 years. Never found its audience. And Tata quietly tucked it away. But here's the thing, Tata's engineers, they weren't done. See, inside Tata's design studios, and I'm talking 3 of them, in India, the UK, and Italy, a team was working on something they called impact design. A completely new philosophy. Aggressive. Muscular. Modern. The Tiago got it. The Nexon got it. Even the Harrier got it. But the Hexa was where impact design became an obsession. Because Tata looked at the Aria's bones, a solid ladder frame platform, and instead of throwing it in the bin, they said, what if we built the best possible car on top of it? In 2015, they unveiled a concept at the Geneva Motor Show. Not Delhi Auto Expo. Geneva. The same show where Ferrari and Lamborghini go to flex. Tata Motors. From Pune. At Geneva. That alone should tell you they were serious. January 2017. The Tata Hexa hit showrooms. And let me paint you a picture. Picture a car so wide it fills your lane. So tall it gives you a commanding view of every roundabout in your city. A hexagonal chrome grille up front that stares down every Innova on the road. Projector headlamps. LED DRLs, dual chrome exhausts out back. And rolling on, wait for it, 19-inch diamond-cut alloy wheels. In 2017. On a Tata. 19 inches. At the time the Toyota Innova Krista, its biggest rival, was rocking 16s. Inside, it gets better. 8-color ambient mood lighting. 8 colors. In 2017. On a car under 20 locks. Harman-designed infotainment system with, and I cannot stress this enough, a 10-speaker JBL audio setup, with a subwoofer, and a 320-watt DSP amplifier. Reviewers at the time called it the best audio system in any car in this segment. Full stop. Leather upholstery. Automatic climate control. 6 airbags. ESP hill descent control. Hill hold assist. Cruise control. Reverse camera with active guidelines. Captain seats in the middle row, the kind where you sink in and tell yourself this is a life. This was not a Tata. This felt like something built in Stuttgart. And then, the engine. The 2.2-liter Verica 400 diesel. 156 horsepower. 400 newton-meters of torque, delivered from as low as 1,700 revolutions per minute. In a segment where most cars were making 150 newton-meters and calling it spirited, the Hexa was making 400. You could get it with a Borg-Warner transfer case. 4-wheel drive. On a Tata. Reviewers drove it and came back saying the same thing. This is the best Tata we have ever driven. One reviewer said the Hexa set a new benchmark, not just for Tata, but for the segment as a whole. And it had 5 driving modes. Automatic, Sport, Race, Rough Road, and, my personal favorite, a mode literally called Dynamica. Because Tata said, why give people 4 drive modes when you can give them 5 and name one of them like a philosophy? Against the Innova Krista, India's untouchable benchmark, the Hexa matched it on space, beat it on features, rivaled it on ride quality, and undercut it on price. Starting at 13.7 lakh, going up to 19.27 lakh. For all of that, this should have been a runaway hit. But it wasn't. And here's where the story gets complicated, and honestly, a little heartbreaking. The Hexa had a problem that no amount of JBL speakers could fix. The badge. In 2017, Tata on a car still meant something specific in the Indian buyer's mind. It meant affordable. It meant functional. It meant the car your uncle drove because it was practical, not because it was desirable. And Tata were asking people to pay near Toyota money for a Tata. The market just wasn't ready. The Mahindra XUV 500, a direct competitor, had already spent years building its performance image. When XUV buyers upgraded, They moved up with the Mahindra, the Toyota Innova Krista. It had decades of trust. Families moved in it. Taxi drivers loved it. Fleet operators bought them in bulk. The Hexa had nothing but its own brilliance to sell on. And in India in 2017, brilliance alone wasn't enough. Sales were slow. Not catastrophic. The car found passionate, devoted owners, but not the volume Tata needed. Then came the real killer. BS6. In April 2020, India made a giant leap from BS4 emission norms directly to BS6, skipping BS5 entirely. Car manufacturers had to either upgrade their engines or pull the cars from sale. The Vericar 400, the heart of the Hexa, would have needed significant engineering work to pass BS6 certification. Expensive. Time-consuming. And here's where Tata made the decision that haunts Hexa fans to this day. They were already working on the Harrier, and a 7-seater version called the Gravitas, which would eventually launch as the new Safari. Two cars that would sit in exactly the same space as the Hexa. The finance department did the math. Update the Hexa's engine for BS6, then compete with your own Harrier and Safari? Or just let the Hexa die. They let it die. In July 2020, with zero fanfare, zero press release, and zero official statement, the Tata Hexa's production ended. The last unit rolled off the line quietly. Nobody clapped. Nobody made a speech. And Tata's greatest car became a ghost. But here's the thing about great cars. They don't just disappear. The Tata Hexa owner community, the Hexa Brotherhood, as Tata themselves once called them, is still alive and thriving. Facebook groups, WhatsApp communities, annual owner meets where people drive their Hexas hundreds of kilometers just to be in the same parking lot as other Hexa owners. These cars are clocking 2, 3, even 4 lakh kilometers. Owners report 16 to 18 kilometers to the liter on the highway. The diesel engine, apparently, is basically indestructible. People who bought the Hexa really bought it, not because it was the rational choice, because they fell in love with it. And here's the most painful twist of all. Look at the Indian car market in 2026. The segment the Hexa used to occupy. It's exploding. The Toyota Innova Hi-Cross, the Kia Carnival, the MG Gloucester. Cars priced between 25 and 50 lakhs, selling like samosas on a Monday morning. The Hexa, had Tata updated it for BS6, given it a modern interior and a petrol option, could have owned this segment. Could have been India's answer to the Innova Hi-Cross, at a fraction of the cost. Instead, they launched the Safari, which is good. It's really good, actually. But it's not the Hexa. It doesn't have the Hexa's character, its aggression, its rawness, its soul. And Tata knows it. In 2021, a Tata social media manager accidentally replied to a tweet asking about the Hexa Safari Edition saying, "Stay tuned." The tweet was deleted within minutes. But the internet never forgets. The Tata Hexa was ahead of its time. And it paid the price for it. It launched before Indian buyers were ready to trust Tata with premium money. It died before the market was ready to reward it. And now that the market is exactly where the Hexa would have thrived, it's gone. That is the tragedy of this car. Not that it was bad, but that it was brilliant, and nobody gave it the time it needed to prove it. If you ever see a Tata Hexa on the road, wave. That owner is driving a piece of Indian automotive history. A car that gave Tata their design identity, their engineering ambition, and their belief that they could build something genuinely great. And somewhere in a Tata boardroom, there's probably a slide deck with Hexa 2.0 written on it. We're waiting, Tata. Don't stop this one. If you want to see more stories about cars that should never have died, hit subscribe. Drop a comment below telling me which car you think Tata should bring back. And if you own a Hexa, tell me your mileage. I want to be humbled. See you next time.